Hey, y'all. I'm live. Hey, y'all excuse us. This is my boy. We wrestling out in here. So we can just come on and yeah, this is my boy. This is my boy. One of my boys here. Yeah. We having fun here in the studio. You gotta keep them happy. You gotta keep them here having fun. Listen, we're good to have y'all on here with us tonight. Good evening, Miss Simon, Pam. Great to see you on here tonight, and the rest of you that are coming on live. We're dealing with domestic violence tonight on a massive level, and the truth is, we need to be straightforward with our daughters and our sons of our tolerance and what not to put up with in life. Domestic violence is very serious, something that we have encountered here just this last week. Our 20-year-old baby, excuse me, was was taken out of her life due to domestic violence. Domestic violence is serious, folks. And tonight we're going to take the time to speak from the men's perspective on domestic violence. We gotta stop it. It is something that should not ever happen in the community. I don't believe in a man or a woman putting their hands on one another, girls or boys. They shouldn't do it. They just shouldn't be involved with it. That the boy that's made it domestic violence is something that should not ever take effect in our life. We've all been involved in domestic violence one way or another. Domestic violence is not always physical; it's mental. I believe it's the worst part that one could ever encounter. You can't hear me, Doctor Stephen? Can you hear me, Doctor Boyd?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Doctor Stephen. Yeah, it's you. It's you. We can't even hear you.
I
It's,
can't hear my boy. Can't hear you, man.
well, it's you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Check and see if you muted.
Yeah, he's not muted. He's not muted. He's not muted. So you guys, I don't know. There's something wrong with your computer, man. There's something wrong with your computer. He might have to reboot. Let me see if I can reach him. And let me go in a private chat. Hey, reboot and come back in. Doctor, hold on. Yeah. Okay, let's see if he. Hey, reboot, come back in, Doctor Stevens. Can you read that? Look in the chat. You see it? Yeah, yeah. Look back in and come back in. Let me get my phone. I'm calling you now. Y'all forgive us. We're trying to get Dr. Stevens on the straight end. Hold on. Let's see if I can call him and get him back on. All right. All right. I'm talking to him now. Dr. Stevens, reboot your computer. Reboot it and come back in because everybody else is you. We can't even hear you at all. Okay, come on. All right. Okay, so we got Dr. Stevens. He's gonna come back in directly here, and he'll be back with a shot. But domestic violence is something that is strong. We've lost a child last week to domestic violence. Domestic violence is not to be taken for granted at all. Men, please talk to your son. Women, talk to your daughters. Men, talk to your daughters as well. Domestic violence is nothing to play with. As I look up on here, just from the man's perspective table, and we see Dr. Bard here is with us, and we're gonna give him a moment to expound on this. But I do want to read this summons here on domestic violence. Domestic violence. What are the signs of domestic violence? She is jealous, possessive, and want nothing more than to be with you when you are not present. Controlling behavior, quick involvement, unrealistic expectations, isolation, blames others for problems, blames others for feeling hypersensitive, hypersensitivity. Table of contents, how do you spot abuse from a woman? We always talk about the man being abusive and the man being not abusive. You can hear us now. He's
I
backing
can
it
hear
on.
you. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
you are.
It's on.
Yeah. So we always talk about how the women's being abused, but nobody talks about the men's abuse, about the woman, how she abused the man. Women's do provoke, and they got a mouthpiece that won't wait. I will say that. And upon saying that, it can lead to a man easily using his upper body strength. A woman body cannot take a blow from a man upper body strength. She may play like she can take it, but she can't handle it. He can hit you one time in your chest, ladies, and your heart will stop beating. It will kill you. This is reality. This is realistic, and it's happening among the females now. We don't know what really happened. We don't know really what went on with one of my members and her relationship. We don't know, but it's under federal investigation. It's under review whether they're going to charge this young man with murder or not. However, ladies, you cannot provoke a man and think you're going to get away with it. Men, you cannot hit her and think you're going to get away with it because you're going to hurt her. Whether you playing, joking around, your strength would overshadow you if you don't watch it. And damage coming. When that happens, apologies is too late. I'm sorry, ain't gonna change it. And then legal action start to play. So tonight we're gonna take these two gentlemen here, Dr. Bard and Dr. Stevens, and we're gonna rightfully take this domestic violence from the men's perspective and try to venture out to help our young men come to the term. When you see this type of behavior, immediately get help. Don't just leave, don't just run. Get help to keep your name safe, keep yourself out of prison, keep yourself out of jail. I know for a fact I have been the victim of women who have lied and said that I hit them and threatened them. And if I didn't have the burden of proof, I would be sitting in prison right now. All right. And if that happens, brother, you in trouble. The legal system would not show you any mercy. They will believe her and they will run off of her. And that's the end of you. And they'll throw whatever they can to throw at you and lock you into the system. It has been a proven fact that they have given minority men a felony record. And if they can give you a felony record, it destroys you to keep you from getting a job, living in a certain community, trying to do anything that be a part of society that will of your successfulness in society. They will rebuke it because you have a felony. Whatever you do, don't get a felony behind your name. All right, gentlemen, let's break this thing down. Domestic violence. What is your perspectives and your your landmark about domestic violence and how to avoid it? Let's see. Dr. Stevens, if you want to go, or we better let Dr. Bard walk in the door first, and then we'll let Dr. Stevens clean it up as he always does.
Oh man. Domestic violence is real, and
It is.
I have in my younger days taken part in um, jumping on a few women, and something I'm very not proud of. And it's really of a bad judgment. There's no excuse for it. at all. You can come up with the way you was raised and what kind of home you came up in. You still have to make a conscious decision.
Right.
And for a woman to have to go through something like that, and most women, the majority of women, have experienced it way more than men. So I think that statistic is vastly changing. I probably don't agree with you about a man today being able to hit a woman. I think women hit a lot harder today than they did back in the day. Because, most of them have came old and all that, and these guys ain't got that kind of,
Yeah.
they don't have that type of temperament
Right.
that we had back in the day. But so I do see women being abusive, and I do see the system catering to the women. I think it needs to be reevaluated on that because it was at a point in time with domestic violence with women was very high, and a lot of people did, a lot of women did, suffer behind it. Some even lost their lives behind it. But to always think that now today, that when you see domestic violence, that it's automatic the man I think it requires a little bit more investigation. So, but for the most part, what I think I found on Dr. Stevenson and Apostle Thomas is the children that suffer from domestic violence. These women and men are putting their hands on those children like they would an adult. And 9 times out of 10, they don't even put their hands on the adult. They take some of these mothers taking their abuse that the boyfriend or significant other done to them, and now they taking it out on their child. I think that's what breaks my heart the most, that you would take that violence to that extreme to hit a child.
Right.
And it's just sad that it's so bad today that it's almost like throwing a cup of water on Los Angeles forest fire. What do you do? Where do it start? You have to.
Right.
It's just so violent. Even the music, the culture,
Right.
music is even produced. I listen to music with my daughter, and I mean, this stuff is rated X.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man. It's something different.
I mean, it's just, and they bopping their head to it, and these.
I can't even understand what they're saying, let alone.
Yeah, so some of these things, some of the violence that they produce in these songs, and I mean, songs always have been in the vibe, but not to the description the way they describing it now, and how a woman is going to get with another woman for fooling with a man and all that kind of stuff like that, man. It's just, but domestic violence is real today, and it is something that I don't even know where do we start. You know what I'm saying? It's so out of control until you don't know where to start. And the only thing you can do is just try to. I think a young lady. I don't know if Dr. Stevenson used this term, but it's called trouble bond. And these women are staying with these men that are beating.
That's true. That's true.
And they stays with them. They don't press charges and everything like that. And that's their man. And they gonna work it out and everything. And sometimes they have paid with their life.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are killing them in a heartbeat, man. It's not beating them is beyond that. Now they killing them. I can't be with you. You ain't gonna be with nobody. We had a nice young lady we had on our prayer line. One of my family that my wife know, beautiful young lady.
Yeah.
And young lady about to go to college, graduate and everything. And I guess him and the girl broke up, man, and he killed her. man.
The
You know?
breakup. Yeah, the breakup.
Yeah, so man, that's my heart goes out there. It's heavy for me to even talk about this because I did see it as a young kid. I saw my dad jump on my mom, and but I'd only seen it probably one time. I have seen my mom fight, my stepdad and stuff like that. So I grew up in that type of environment. But like I said, when I turned to it, I was just doing something. I didn't have nothing to prove. Wasn't nothing gonna gain from it or anything like that. That was just my go-to.
Right.
When I was angry, but those ladies did not deserve it at that time.
Right.
I really was a butthole, because they didn't do anything about it. It was just I guess, being violent and being in the streets like that. I just didn't know how to turn it off, But I knew better.
Right.
From the moment I even was thinking it, I knew better. I ain't gonna never say it just took the rage took over me. I knew better.
Right.
But I just, it was messed up. So, and that's something that's going. I even jumped on my first wife, and that's hard for me to say that, but I did, to the point I was about to take her out, So that first marriage wasn't all about what she didn't do or whatever. I just think she had a hard time recovering because she never experienced violence like that, coming up in the church and stuff like that. So,
right.
So it's real, man. It's real.
It's real.
It's real. So I'm a buy that Dr. Stephen straighten me out.
Hey, listen, I am first of all, let me say good evening to everyone. Salute. Without being subjective or placing any personal connection or personal bias, let me start by saying that domestic violence is bilateral.
Okay.
That's the first thing I want to acknowledge. I know women, and some of these women, I will not say their name because I know them like I know them. And some of them were a part of my rearing, and they whoop men. Will blow your brains out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this again. Will blow your brains out.
Yeah.
Hey, and don't make me get into Big Mama. Big Mama will blow your brains out.
Leave it laying on the floor.
And will drink a cup of coffee and be calm as a cucumber. Just get that out there. You wasn't gonna touch Big Mama. I'm just saying, you wasn't gonna touch Big Mama. You wasn't gonna touch some of these aunties.
No, not.
You wasn't gonna touch their sisters.
No.
Because they were gonna blow your brains out, and that's after they brothers come and stomp you.
That's right.
Let me just make sure that's clear. Because the narrative has been that men have just been whooping these women.
Yeah.
Especially men that share my pigmentation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm going to use myself as an example, let me use myself. I've had a woman, one woman out of my whole life that put her hands on me. And it wasn't because I raised my voice at her. It wasn't because I threatened her. I used to be a big brother. I used to be about 250 pounds. And I thought I was fly. I had got big, and stopped working out. I had got big. I was in about 27, 26. And she said, and she was a little thick too, She said, if you're this big right now, how big will you be when you turn 35? And so forth. I say, yeah, I know I'm a little chubby right now, baby, but you a ham sandwich away from busting yourself. I had a slick mouth. Because she cut me, I cut her back. I'm young. Yeah. I'm like, hey, you're not an hourglass figure. You're not a Coke bottle figure. You up here talking about my belly. And she gave me a quick 2-piece. I mean, 2 to the face, real quick. Boo, boo, boo. And with as much calmness as I can muster, I said, get out of my car. now. And then she took a book and hit me in the face with it. I said, get out of my car. Oh, yeah. Because my thing has always been, you are a woman and you can be replaced. Period. Now hold on. Let me finish. Now I was young. That was my methodology.
That's smooth, dude. That's smooth.
My methodology.
Casanova.
Listen. Let me finish. Let me go. I'm gonna go down this street because I'm gonna drive to a point. There was another young lady that was a high candidate. She was a top runner, beautiful, long natural hair. It was hers. She didn't buy it. Now, to other brothers that may not be that thing, that was my thing. She said something that disqualified her, y'all. She said it real smooth and real sweet. She said, when I get mad at my man, sometimes I just slap him. I said, let me tell you something. You have a good day. Because this is why. And I'm dead serious. She was gorgeous. She was beautiful. She had the nicest figure. All of that. She was very well educated. She worked in corporate America. The whole nine. Beautiful. But you're going to tell me this, and you are the top candidate. You are a top candidate. You're gorgeous. But she told me that to see what would be my reaction. Verbally. Now, after she said that, I responded as if she was never born.
Wow.
Because my theory has always been, if you're trying to put me in a position to where I go to jail, you don't care about me. My freedom is important.
Right.
My freedom. You can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
I don't own you. I'm not your property. You're not my property. I am a strong advocate. I do not believe in you putting your hands on a man. I do not believe that a man should put his hands on a woman. That's me. Because the moment I do that, I turn from being who I am within my frame. I step out of my framework. And now you have all of the leverage to be the victim that will justify why the police use us as target practice, while the police use us and treat us like monsters. So I said, if it's between a lady, okay, baby, you good. You never existed. Because I don't have an emotional investment in you that is so severe that my livelihood as well as my personhood will be alleviated.
That's right.
If you are no longer in my life. But here is what's scary, Pastor Boyd, and it's so good to see you and everyone. I'm enjoying this, and I really feel bulletproof tonight. I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna get off the mic. You know, this is what's interesting. A man's body. The reason why, and I believe it is wrong all the way around. I don't believe a man should be whooping a woman. I don't believe you should put your hands on her. I know women, I don't believe that. Because even though they cuss at you, they put your hand, the moment you respond, see, I've had to pull brothers off a woman.
Right, me too.
Walk up to a man and punch a man in his face. You walk up to a man while he's with his boys, he chilling, and she just walk up to you and haul off and punch you like a man. I've been in that situation. Right. This brother didn't even see it. She just haul off, punch him, start slapping him and fighting him like a man. And he say, man, you saw what she did. I have to pull him because no matter how tough she say she is.
Right, she's not.
No matter how strong she say she is.
Nah.
I don't care how big she is. under natural circumstances, her body mass and her muscle mass can't keep up with a skinny man.
That's right. That's right.
Your body, our body is made to take a certain amount of pressure. Her body is made to endure the pressure of bearing babies.
That's it. Nothing more.
That's why they're going to knock your butt out.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to identify this. If we are really seeking to see equality,
Right.
why is it that domestic violence is not presented with the same emphasis when she is the one that is the abuser? When we look at statistics,
Wow.
these women running over men with cars. I didn't make this up. Go look at the news. These women will stab a man, shoot a man, do all these things, and she can plead in various cases,
Right.
and not get the same penalty. I want you to identify the actions and then look at the penalty that is attached to that action. I don't care. Let's not look at man and woman, because, we are men and we are talking. And whenever we discuss and expose what could be disparaging, we're being negative. No, baby, I want you to be, I believe in equality. You put your hands on me, brothers. If she put her hands on you, you go press charges just like she does.
There you go.
I've been with brothers that have had to call the police. Man, I just had to get the laws over here. I've been with brothers that have had to call the police because she acting a fool at his house.
Right.
And he locks her outside. She punches the glass and cut herself.
Wow.
And he calls the police and says, this chick just cut herself. She punched the window. She cut herself. And I'm not allowing her in this house to give the impression that I was the one that did it to her. Right. Now, that level of abuse that she would do to a man can get 5, 10 years, 20 years. However, she can do the same thing, the exact same act.
That's it.
The same, and not get the penalty for the action.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for all of you women, I want my women to get this, young sisters. For all you who say that you must not love your mama, you must not love your son. If you're not exposing that it is wrong for your son to be anybody's punching bag, but here is the level, Pastor Boyd. Before she ever put her hands on you, before she even seeks to get a rise out of you, because that's what she wants. Listen, I remember, I know, man, listen, it's crazy, but what some women despise most is what they crave.
Wow, and that is true. That is true.
I hate that. I didn't say all, I said some.
Right.
Because you give her no reaction and you leave, she mad. Because she has no control. You disarmed her when you don't give her that emotional thrill.
Right.
She wants that rise. And we better start telling our brothers that pseudo masculinity, and she just like a, that's what they say. I'm just like a N word. What's up, bro? Look, little mama, young lady, you're not my bro.
That's right.
Don't call me your bro. I'm looking at your feminine features, but all I hear is another man coming out your mouth.
Yeah, something wrong with that. Mouth like that.
I see your pretty eyes and your gorgeous lips and your gorgeous figure. You ain't no bro to me. Okay, that's how you want me to respond to you? Okay, cool. That is not how it's supposed to be. That is absolute. And before it ever gets to that point, she gives you that mouth. She wants to get that rise out of you. I know, man, it's crazy. Oh, Lord Jesus, you making me drive down memory lane. I know there are some ladies that get turned on when you are upset.
Ooh, yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. This is true.
And I have to tell them, Grant, I've been there. Listen, here, I'm talking to my brothers. Listen, bro, I don't care how I turn her on. Don't grab her by her neck.
That's it. Don't put your hands on her.
Listen, even though I know, I'm driving down. I told you I feel bulletproof tonight.
That's it.
Listen, you grabbing her by her throat, you throwing her. I like that. It's exciting. Look, baby, why don't you grab me by? I'm not grabbing you by your throat.
They call that bondage sex, doc. They love bondage sex.
I'm not trying to jack you up and throw you against the wall.
Well, they like that.
I'm not trying to do that to you. I'm not doing it. You know why? Because the moment you're uncomfortable with me, you weren't saying he choked me. No, I didn't. You threw me against the wall. Hold up, that's what you said. You asked me to do that.
Now she's crazy. She told you that.
It's it. And see, all of these things must be taken into account because, brothers, I want you to protect yourself. It don't start with her slapping you. It starts with her clowning you because the moment she can talk to you any kind of way, the moment she can emasculate you and degrade you, all that did was signal to her, go a step further. You stupid.
Yeah,
Look at your stupid self.
Yeah.
Look at you. Oh, you just so dumb. I don't even know why I gave myself to some. Oh, look at. I don't know why I did that. Oh, you disgust me.
Crazy.
Absolutely right.
It's 2023.
Brothers, first of all, don't live with her. I'm gonna just sit that there. Don't live with her. Well, what's the solution? Here is a solution. Don't live with her.
That's it.
She don't have that type of access, freedom, and the ability to not have any restraints. Don't do it because it is never acceptable. It is not acceptable for her to put her hands on you. Guess what? We already know that. Listen, I love, sometimes they love to talk about, black, that's why we are just so abused. Who abusing you? You walk around here cussing like a pit bull. You cuss more than men.
Oh my goodness. Potty mouth. Terrible.
You cuss more than us. You amp up stuff more than we do. That's exciting to some of them. Right. Say, bro, that's why all of that old nonsense that consists of we have no choice but to operate in a masculine paradigm. The devil is a lie, and so are you.
Exactly.
All of that. They begin to paint that picture.
That's right.
Men, especially black men that look like us, we are the most abusive in the country. Right. We are the most abusive. And guess what? That's why they are so justified in shooting us and killing us and stomping us and having us extinct, because we are just such a threat.
Uh-huh.
We're a threat. They have no remorse on blowing our brains out. This go all the way back before we were even considered human.
Come on, man.
Before we were considered human beings. Don't you know? See, this is the part of history. You want some critical race theory? Let me give you a portion of it, and I got to get off the mic. When the slave masters, when the slave masters saw us, don't you know all that lady had to do, the African woman, all she had to do was say, slave master John, old slave Bobby, he not acting right. Don't you know you getting a whooping by Master John? Don't you know you might get strung up by Master John? You know why? Because
what she said.
You know why? Because Master John wanted that black woman's cobbler. And he was raping us. Okay, watch this. Yes, he raped some, but there was some. If you ever took the time to read Daughters of the Slave Trade, there was some that were able to use their feminine wiles to garner land. So when emancipation took place, there were some black women that got land from slave masters because they had already had the slave master's baby.
There you go. There you go. Back.
And the slave master, when Abraham Lincoln had already freed the slaves, slave master, we were in our own quarters on sharecroppers, broke as a joke, didn't have much, but Master John would come on down there to the New Freeman to see can he get some more blackberry cobbler.
Wow.
Guess what? So guess what? That was a whole nother medium of exchange. A whole nother medium of exchange.
Yes, sir.
And all it took for a man to be shot like a dog is that they had to say he made me feel uncomfortable. Whether all you had to do was be a woman.
That's it. It was a done deal.
If it was a woman that said he made me feel uncomfortable, I felt threatened, you dead or hung. And now we move to 2023. If she say you did it, you just as good as gone. Listen, let me tell you something, brothers. I know they say we ain't nothing but a bunch of liars. I get it. And you wait till we see strength in my bro. Oh, I'm gonna go live. It's gonna go hard. Listen, I know we ain't nothing but a bunch of liars, but let me tell you something, brothers. When men lie, we trying to get pleasure. When she lie, you go to the penitentiary. Let that drop in your mouth. When a man lie, he's trying to get pleasure. When a woman lie, you go to the pen.
Come on now. Come on. That's reality.
You don't have to have done it. If she said, I just felt threatened by him. I felt threatened. Well, he did that. I didn't do that. You got to prove that you didn't do it.
Do it. I already hung it.
So before you, listen, bro, before you start examining how beautiful she is and all that, look at her character.
That's it.
You know, she's fine, but you got to be able to trust her when you close your eyes. That's why I'm telling you, bro. Don't be over there trying to live with her. You trust her while you sleep. You trust her while you sleep. While you are unconscious. I'm gonna wake up to you.
No, sir.
You while I'm unconscious. I got to be able to trust you. Trust you. Trust that. See, you know, men are not afraid of men. We understand that as a man, if we get uncomfortable with each other as men, you know what happens? We fight.
Yes, that's it.
If it get too heated and we can't go our separate ways, you go your way up, we gonna fight. Somebody gonna get whooped, somebody gonna die.
That's what I wanted to do.
Now with a woman can smile and hold on. Yeah, okay, baby. And when you least expect it, brother, you least expect it. She got it in her Rolodex. You don't know how she gonna strike. You don't know how she gonna respond. You don't know what she's been harboring.
Yeah, I have no idea.
We're not afraid that a woman can whoop us. We are afraid of her covert strength and her ability to conceal, until the most appropriate time to hurt you. That's what we are afraid of. We ain't afraid that you can whoop us.
Right.
We are afraid that your smile can't be trusted.
We're
afraid that your smile carries a whole nother meaning.
Wow.
Let me jump in here because, you know, I don't want it to appear that these victimized men, that these poor men that getting victimized by these dominant women, you know, that thing is, you're right about the slavery and the statistic on that, but, you know, some of this was coerced because we didn't stay faithful to the woman.
Unfaithfulness is not a reason to put your hands on me.
No, it's not an unreasonable way to put it.
Like it's not a reason for me to put my hands on you because you went by.
Wait a minute. So the other alternative for them to get us back was to get them folks in our life.
You gonna call the police on me because we have a relationship problem? Make that make sense. You can't put your
because they cannot put their hands up. They know. I'm gonna put it like this here. You're not gonna beat me physically, and you're not gonna even try. So the only thing you can do is call Popo and make a legitimate argument that I did something to you, and that just some of these niggas I'm sorry. Have did a lot of things to these women to provoke this kind of thing. This came from men first, and I'm talking about my skin tone. I'm talking about my skin tone. I'm talking about from where I grew up. The most aggressive violence when I was coming up was mostly men in the hood, on the Cooper Road. I'll talk about that. I ain't talking about over America. Most women I know was being beat by me. Now you're right. Did nobody bother Big Mama? Did nobody bother Auntie and all them? They will get with you. But the majority of those women that was in those relationships were vulnerable women that would not have fought back. And that's the way it was. I remember some of the young ladies, I can call them by name, I didn't want to get in no fight with. And they would handle you. Straight handle you. But I'm just saying. That's why we didn't date women on the Cooper Road, because we knew how they would go hard.
Let me tell you this.
I can't talk about it everywhere, but I'm gonna talk about where I came up at. And I seen where men was beating on the women, and those women would not fight back. Those are women that didn't even have a snowball chance in hell. But some of the women that did, they didn't fool with her. They did not mess with her. I don't care how Lamar looked. He was some women he wasn't gonna mess with on the tour. It just about you can get froggy if you want to, but they were gonna get up in your dome. So it's the equality of the thing, and I agree with you. I'm not to the certain extent, because there are some jacked up women. There are some
keep your hands to yourself.
Diamond women that do take advantage of the full system, and I think that should be done. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Let me tell you this.
I believe that should be dealt with as an individual, and there should be some things that
y'all call in. If y'all got a question, there's the number down at the bottom of the ticker. Call in, and we'll take your question.
Miss Angelique said that's not true. She said that's not true.
346-493-2630. Call in live.
I don't know what she's talking about not true on, but I'm just saying.
Miss Angelique, if you say it's not true, I need you to explain what's not true. Here is the thing. I've had my car key, tire sliced, the whole nine. And I've looked women in the face and say, do you feel better after you keyed my car? I wouldn't do that. I didn't do. Okay, do you feel better? They hate that. Oh, some women hate when you refuse to step out of your frame. When you refuse to step out of your frame and let them be as emotional as they're gonna be, and you leave. If you, I don't care how anyone try to flip it. Because that man cheated, don't mean you can put your hands on him.
No,
you don't get a chance. No. Just like that mean, it don't mean that you can put your hands on her because she slept with your homeboy too.
Right, exactly.
That means you identify. Okay, this how you roll. Okay, go do you, baby. Do you? Go be great, baby. Go be great.
But
I want you to be great.
But check it out, Dr. Steve. These are not men that capable. These men that some of these men, I'm not gonna say all of them, but some of these men that are like that can't get another woman. Some of these women upgraded niggas, young men that was not that type anyway, and upgraded, and they got that one in, and they were gonna stick. That was life do you part, not death do you part, life do you part. So some of these situations where I've seen, just from my experience, that some of these young ladies, going through in a relationship, broke up with their boyfriend, and then turned around and picked up, couldn't get with you. Couldn't get with me, but probably could get with, probably Lamar gave him a pass, and they done got, whatever. These men like this with low self-esteem get these women because they would not normally have that type of woman in their life if that woman had not been going through something. That's just the bottom line. But when they do get in there, they try to do everything in their power to keep that woman. They try to keep money, throw money, do everything that they can. But when that woman gets fed up or feel like she didn't, because this is one of the things that them, and I'm talking fact. Most women did not want to deal with a joker that was more timid than they were. Most women don't like even being in a relationship with men like that. So they do like that, well, like you said earlier, and I echo that. that sometimes they are picking the very thing that they want, but they feel like they can be protected with that type of guy. But some of these men now, these men here step back and see, man, it's just certain things I know ain't gonna. I mean, thank God, my wife chokes me. I have domestic violence. She choked the daylights out of me. She get man in the hand at the throat. I ain't think I would get married or have to go, but she'll choke me in a minute. But at any time when I feel in my heart that she's trying to harm me, no, I can better control because I'm mature and I have a greater respect for a woman and for my wife to not put my hands on her. But it took me a minute. It took me a minute to get there, but it took some maturity. But most of the time, and I'm just gonna say, no, ain't no justify. I'm not justifying no.
I know,
man putting their hands on a woman. But when you rage and you arguing, and I was the one. The only reason why I would hit you is the only reason. If I say shut up, I'm done with it. Leave it alone. That's what got me. You keep on putting that finger, and then you put your finger in my face, and all that kind of stuff like that. That just
see. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I had anger issues, so you know when the man got anger issues, you see them signs, and I'm saying this to women. If you see that man got anger issues, you ain't gonna tame him. He ain't gonna be tamed by not damn woman. So it's a lot of meat on this bone. It's a lot of things to look at.
Let me explain.
I don't want it to feel like we stereotyping the men as the one being the victim all the time, because it is probably about 1 out of 5 men that do face domestic violence. Yes, they do. And they do get the short end of the stick. There are men selling, like you said, there are men selling jail sentence behind what she said. You get instantly fired on your job if a woman reports you for sexual, what they call it,
any type of harassment.
Anything. Miss Pam, 90.
Yeah, we ain't got that, but you can handle that too. Like I done told him, if I touch you on your behind, I ain't finna be. Yeah, I sure did. That sure did. So I ain't for my back. Whatever. Get them folks in my life. Shoot, I ain't
Pam said.
Anyway, let me shut up. I end up going
95%. 95% of reported domestic violence cases are men abusing women. Well, Miss Pam, I like that. I would like to fact check your stats. And can we go to what is it? blackdemographics.com or wherever you're going to find your statistics, because the ratio, the bilateral domestic, interrelational domestic violence is nearly the same from men to women and women to men. Men are just as abusive.
It's 1 to 4. It's 1 to 3 with women and 1 to 5 with men.
It's nearly the same. 1 to what, sir?
1 to 3 with women and 1 to 5 with men.
1 to 3 with women, and is that a huge numerical gap, or is that objectively saying that y'all whoop our tails just as much as men whoop their tail? Yeah. And both of it is wrong. And I want to tell my women this. Women, please listen. I'm about to drop a bombshell, and I hope it makes you uncomfortable, because I am saying it to you, and I'm showing my face. I ain't scared. I'm good. Listen, I know sometimes our women are so excited about men being quote unquote emotionally available and becoming emotionally accessible. And before you know it, let me tell you something, young ladies. Some of these men that you are hoping to move into that total emotional investment, because that's where you're most comfortable, when you know that he is emotionally outside of where he's most comfortable. So now you have all of his emotions, or as much of them as possible. And guess what? When that man totally operates in that emotional primary, you know what he becomes? He'll become your genie. And you know what these brothers will do? They'll buy you a car. They will fly you to the Dominican. They'll put you in one of their rent houses. They'll put you in one of their condos. They'll buy you red bottoms. Birkin bags, whatever you want. They gonna spend that money.
That's
You know
right.
why? Because he is so excited to have you. And now you know what he just become? You know what he just did? I know you don't want to deal with it. You don't like it. I don't mind it, but it's real. You know what he just became? He just became a person that not simply says, I know your value, baby. No. He made you his goddess. And guess what? Now you're ready to level up from this dude that done dropped all that money. These men that snap, a lot of these dudes that snap, they don't snap because they have all of these women. They snap because they got one itis. They done gave her a car. They done raised her kids. They done done this for her. They done done that for her. And now she's like, listen, this relationship has ran its course. This relationship, we
used them.
hold on. I'm because I know these dudes. I done seen the brothers with the loaded 357 like, I'm going to shoot the house up because I know that dude in my house, man. Dude, you can't shoot the house up, bro. No, Steve-O, man, he in my crib, man. I raised some kids, man. Oh, I know. Well, he ain't no good. But you have to have a man in this house. That dude, he put you in that house. Because when men are very well pleased, and he's operating outside of his primary, and he's just nothing but emotions. That's all he is. He's just a bowl of emotions. And his emotions are based upon, I just want to make her happy, man. I want to make her happy. You know what I'm saying? And so guess what? And now you like, you know what? This relationship that ran its course, and I'm just kind of tired. You smothering me so much because now he's all caked up. Now he's just, hey boo, hey boo boo. He's just trying to be all caked up, and you kind of getting. And some women get tired of all of that. She gets tired because that man don't have a disagreeable bone in his body. He don't know how to say no to nothing. He don't have a bone in his body to disagree with you. And now you may find another brother that's more interesting, a brother that's a new challenge, a brother that's a new adventure. And he don't know how to fathom in his mind that lady don't want him anymore. You know what these dudes do? Some of these suckers will black out. Like, man, I did all of this for her. I did all of this for her. I did all of this for her. He'll black out. And some of these brothers will slaughter her and her kids.
Wow.
You think these brothers that do some of these crazy things, they're just, oh, well, he had access to the ice cream. No, some of these dudes snap out because they like, I did everything she said do, and she still don't want me?
Yep.
I did everything she told me to do. And I know it. Miss Angelique, I get it. I know it's not true. That don't happen to men. It don't happen because you know why? You know why certain cases don't go reported? What man want to go to the police station and say, you know what, my old lady just whipped the snot out of me. She just hit me in the head with a frying pan. We done made jokes out of Al Green getting burnt. We done made jokes out of Al Green getting burnt with grits. It's a joke. What's that lady name? Lorena Bobbitt, when she cut the man's privacy off. That was just, she cut him. But it's not. Tell me where I'm lying. Stop. Tell me where I'm lying.
Oh, Lord.
I just need you to tell me that I'm lying. I don't make any sense. I'm totally irrational because that's how that man becomes when you turn him into that mush. Because
watch this.
He's nothing but
watch this. Now watch this. Some of these men do that to control the woman. And it ain't got nothing to do with everything about it. They use that to control women now. They use that to control women. And when they're no longer under their control and that woman going to walk, then hit the D word, domestic violence. Because of what he invested. This ain't your wife, Negro. This ain't your wife.
Let's
stop assuming your wife
when you put that kind of stuff in there, there's some men, they want to pay all the things, control the woman, dominate the woman, do as I say, and do all that stuff and everything like that. And then they mentally destroy these women in these cases. And sometimes they hear shows like this that promote that ideology because they feel like they right, because they paying for everything. Negro, your money does not give you the right to control no human being.
Let me tell you this.
About slavery.
What?
We want to talk about slavery. If that
What
ain't
man?
slavery. If that ain't
What?
slavery.
That is not slavery. That is not slavery. Let me
That
break
ain't
this.
slavery.
No, it's not. Let me go here because that ain't even
Oh,
the most. That's not even the most rational ideology from men to women. What man spends money on a woman from a generalized standpoint? I'm not talking about brothers that's just got tons of money.
I'm talking about people
Hold
that
on,
got no money, spending money on women.
Let me finish. Brothers that work every day, I'm gonna spend money on her to abuse her.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend. Think about how irrational that is.
That ain't irrational.
Hold on.
That ain't irrational,
yes.
dude.
All right.
That's why they always brag about what they got. That's why they brag about what they got, what they own, what they can do, because some men are male chauvinists and they will use that money because they can't use the pipe. They can't use the pipe to control.
And first of all, you can't control no woman, period. If a man is spending money on a woman and spending money and spending time with a lady, he is spending money and is spending time. He is not doing that so he can whoop her tail. Typically, let me finish.
I ain't talking about the suburb. You come from the suburb. I'm talking about in the hood.
I'm talking about in the hood. I grew up in the hood.
They would look here. They get a woman. They get a woman and they put their money on that because they look here.
I am not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me that man that go to work as a construction worker, that man that's going to work as a factory worker.
You in the suburbs.
That's not.
We ain't talking about the suburbs.
Being a construction worker is in the suburbs.
Yeah, he better be.
No, a construction worker. A construction worker. Hold on. This man, you're going to tell me this man going to drive 18-wheelers and pay bills just so his wife or his significant other can come home. He can come home and beat up. I'm going to pay all the bills. Hold on, stop. But that's hold on. But that is an extreme.
Abuse. I said verbal abuse. I ain't saying beat them up. And yeah, there are cases with that, but you're taking it to the extreme to argue your point. I got you. You know real good.
That's why you draw. Hold on, let me finish. You said, this is what you said. You said these men use money to control and abuse some women. Let me finish. To control and abuse some women. If a man is being a provider, and I tell my wife, baby, I don't want you working on nobody's job. This is the money I'm making. This is the money I make. I'm gonna work 2 jobs until I get my business going. And once this business get going, I'm gonna need your support. You don't have to work for nobody. We making money now. This is our business. I'm doing that so I can whoop her tail. That's why I'm doing it.
Not that man.
No.
I'm not. You can use that scenario.
No.
I'm not talking about that man. I'm not talking about that man. You stashing the debt. I'm like, I can't debate that. There's no way in the world I can say that.
I can't roll with that. Are there men that are stupid that spend all kind of money and they live crazy lifestyles and some of them are abusive? Yes. But the typical man that goes to work, the ordinary man that goes to work and wants to provide for a significant other, he is not doing that so he can abuse her. He's doing that to say, okay, baby, all you got to worry about is pleasing me. You ain't got to worry about stressing over this. The bills are taken care of.
What?
Come on, man.
18 might do that. Black African men would do that.
You mean it? Hold up, stop. No. You're not going to. I'm not going to. No. We're not going to go with that.
How many men you don't do that? How many men you don't do that? Come on back here. Come on. I'm busy. How many men you don't do that?
You mean to tell me? Hold on. You mean to tell me? You're explaining to me that the typical man, the normal average man, is making money to abuse and control a woman? Are there men that are stupid? I will never say they're not. Them suckers, they're some crazy individuals. But a man that is going to work and trying to provide for her.
If she
Doing it
ain't
to-
got
hold
nothing
on.
going for
Hold-
herself, and
Stop.
all she doing is the kitchen and the bed, you darn right, because he can manipulate the whole situation.
Let me tell you something. Let me flip it. I'm about to flip it.
Equal, no, he ain't gonna treat her like that. But that one ain't got nowhere to go. Yes, yes,
Now watch
yes,
this. I know.
Yes, sir.
Listen. Then
yes, sir, he will.
we see
Yes,
two
sir.
different lives. We see two different lives because if a man is working like that, he is not working like that to abuse her. He is working like that to give her a sense of security. Yeah, period. He ain't trying to do that to abuse her. Stop. Because hold on.
I can't argue that. That is some men that do that.
Now watch this. Now here is the catch. Here is the catch. A man can be satisfied.
Ross, you be it. Go ahead. Y'all go ahead.
A man will be totally comfortable if a woman don't work. And he will be totally comfortable if she is not working and he is able to do that. And he is able to make sure all of the necessities are there. He's cool with that. He's cool with that. Because he will enjoy her beauty. He will enjoy her softness. And he is hoping that she would gain an interest in giving a certain type of support. He is not spending all his money to hurt her. Now, hold on, stop. Because
I know one personally.
I know
men that do.
Hey, I know tons of men that say, listen, I work, I make good money. I don't want my wife working on some job stressing out. I don't want my wife all over there. I want her to be attentive to these kids. That's why I work these hours. And I'm not gonna degrade that man as if he's.
You got a lot of black men that doing that. I need to know where they at. They're down in Houston.
Okay, well, can I tell you where they are? Can I tell you where they are? Can I tell you where they are? They hide from some women. They hide from some of them because they're not gonna. Stop.
Come out.
Can I tell you? Stop. Can I tell you? Stop. Because that man is considered too nice. A man will be just as satisfied if she loves on him, gives him the affection that he desires. And she don't work and pay not one bill if he can afford that. That will not belittle him at all. But if a woman gotta spend all the money and make all the money, she gonna be uncomfortable. Now watch this. Then we are degrading and misrepresenting all of the men during this time and men prior to this time that took pride in their family and their wives not working on everybody's job. And they gave that time to those kids instead of rushing them kids off to a daycare at 6 months. They stayed with their kids. And that man was out there driving that 18-wheeler. That man was at that doggone at some plant. 14, 16 hours. Oh, but he did it. I know why he did it. Based upon
America hadn't changed for women. They were barely voting. Come on now, man. Come on.
Oh, hold up, stop.
Stop.
Oh, my. We don't do that. That's what we stop. Hold up. Oh, we really?
I got that, boy.
Oh, Lord.
What? Hold up. Say, I don't know where y'all get this from. Listen, you know why? Stop. Do you know why they were not? Oh my God. Get this from?
Oh man, you gotta do a part 2 on this one, man.
Part 2 is out of bag next week. Part 2 is out of bag next week, man.
Man, I got that. Man, you went back on the couch under the anointing, man.
What? Man.
We even had the assistant owner on here tonight. She even made her come in. This is crazy.
Listen, there are abusive men that should not be abused. You don't have no right to abuse a woman. Let her go and be free. Let her be her. Go and be great, baby. Go do your tour. Don't put your hands on no man. Don't put your hands on no woman. If I can't talk to you, I don't need you, baby. Right. If you can't, see, if real authority is knowing I can say what I say and it's done. want to yield to it, I understand, baby. I get it. If I gotta put, if any man needs to put his hands on a woman, you need to go ahead and go and check out. Let her get her walking papers. Go ahead. If you gotta put your hands on a man because he did something you don't like, you crazy, and he should press charges.
That's true. I agree.
Oh man, I
Put your
can't
hands
wait.
on each other at all.
I love you, Dr. Stevens, man.
Yeah, we gonna catch y'all the next round. Listen, y'all, that's our time. We already 5 minutes over. Definitely next week, part 2 will be in effect. I'm not gonna let this get out of sight. We're gonna really get it more. Next week, we're gonna have Pastor Ross on here. I'm going to make sure he's set up so he's in with us on next week. He's definitely a good guy, and interested in what he has to say. He's grounded very well. His wife, he's coming to his wife's defense, Miss Fryer Ross. So we're going to hear from him on that. And coming in swinging, man. You can see, I ain't no need to be even swinging tonight. I'm just going to sit back and watch this here go out. Y'all come back to be with us next week. Tomorrow is Women's Roundtable with Pam, Lady P. You don't want to miss it. What an epic topic will be on tomorrow night. And her special guest was with us on tonight as well. Certainly you're welcome, Pastor Ross. Her guest was online with us on tonight. She was getting the bill in, and certainly we're looking to hear from her on tomorrow. So we will be there on tomorrow with them and listen to their topics. And hopefully we'll be about that time to get ready to do a round table with both shows so we can really get in the water on these topics. All right, good to see you guys tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're out of here.